Should size be considered when designing a trophy for disc golf tournaments? Before we get to that, welcome to the Disc Golf Show. My name is Nick, and this is episode 29 of the 2026 season. This show is brought to you in part by our local pro shop, Final Nine Sports. If you're in Northern California, they have two locations, one in Orangevale and one in Rockland. Always support local if you can. However, if you're unable to find what you're looking for at your local pro shop, we do have a remedy for that, and that's Disc Golf Deals USA. If you go to discgolfdealsusa.com/disc golf show, you can save 10% off of your entire order. Some exclusions do apply. But big ticket items, large orders, save that 10%. It adds up quick. As always, we start off with good news. Great news in this instance, and that is congrats to the Colings on their new baby girl, Josephine. Nothing but good there. So we hope they enjoy the early years because they go by quick. Also, good news, Maury Vilman sets a new Estonian disc golf rating record, and he is now rated 1042. So shout out to Maury for that record. If you haven't heard us talk about the PDGA Profiler extension, we have highlighted it in past episodes, but this is something of a hobby that, well, not hobby, just something that a gentleman wanted to put together because he hated having to click on somebody's name in the PDGA websites to go check out some generic information. So he created an extension. There is a new update made to that browser extension, and that extension gives you kind of a snapshot of some information. It is available on Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. So if you use any of those, you can use this extension. Some of the information includes rating, some generic information, probably where they're from, and recent events. And if you hover over a person's name on any of the pages on PDGA, you will get that snapshot. So again, if you're in any of your official browser extension stores, all you got to do is search PDGA Profiler. So go check that out. It's a cool little extension to add on. Don't forget, for PDGA, your elections, go vote in those elections, and you can vote all the way up to July 31st. So that link for that information will be down below. I don't know if you saw this. We did see a post about a par 7 on a course in Japan, and that distance was 2,892 feet. Now, I know that disc golf is very closely emulated off of golf, but do you think that this is something that could be incorporated, should be, or should not? Should we not push it to where a single hole is ridiculously long? Par 7 does seem kind of crazy. But let me know what you think below. Should it be a thing? I don't know. I don't know. I kind of lean no, but I'm open to it. There have been some rumors about disc golf being included in some mainstream video games. Now, we've seen it in the past. We've seen it on Tiger Woods, on an old Tiger Woods. We've seen it on Nintendo gaming systems, but there have been some rumors about it being included in the new GTA6 video game. Though that would be awesome, I have seen conflicting information on it, and I've seen yes it is, no it isn't. So are we sure? Not quite yet. But quick question, would that influence you in purchasing a game? Something like that type of an open world type game. Would that influence you, having disc golf in it, influence you into purchasing that game? Let me know down below. There has been, or we haven't seen him on tour this year, but this is Nico Locastro. Nico Locastro recently made a post about why he has been absent from tour this year. Unfortunately, he had lost his grandfather around the beginning of the tour season, and our hearts do go out to him. You know, it's tough losing somebody close to you. I know that very, very well as of recent. And, we hope he is able to get through this tough time and be able to deal with it on a day-to-day basis, because it's not easy, I know, depending on that person in your life. So our hearts go out to him. He has been questioning on how he's going to be involved. He sees glimpses of greatness in his game where he thinks, yeah, I can compete at the top level with these players that are up there, and then sometimes it's kind of not there. But I mean, I feel like that's for any player, but when you've been out for a little while, it can get into your mental game. But as of now, for the rest of 2026 season, he has joined a Team Big Z. So, it looks like he will be competing in some events moving forward through the rest of this season. So we will see how he fares. Moving on to the biggest topic, the recent major, the USWDGC. That event was recently just held, 4-round event. And again, we have a lot of weather delays occurring. And, I think we've touched on this multiple times, where I think weather definitely needs to be more of a concern and looked at more when scheduling the tour. And having a tournament at the top of a mountain, that might prove a little more difficult when it comes to weather. It did look beautiful, don't get me wrong. The locale is amazing. The functionality of the event, kind of tough when you have a gondola that takes you up to the first tee and you've got to plan a solid 30 to 45 minutes ahead of time to be at the gondola to get to your first tee so that you aren't late to your round tee time. But yeah, again, weather delays. As for the winners, we will run through some of these. For FPO, the big winner was Silva Sarnen. So Silva is now the USWDGC victor and champion, with a big comeback over Own, who seemed to have, if you didn't watch, go check it out, seemed to have some putting yips on a few holes, pulling it right throughout the final round. And obviously, when you're the level putter that Own is, that can definitely affect you, especially if it's not just a couple holes. If it's a full round of you just not being on your game with putting, that can definitely affect you mentally. And it was apparent that it was hitting her in a way that, we feel for her. But, Own's Own. She'll persevere. We will see her at the top moving forward, I'm sure. Big shout out to 14-year-old MJ Gager, who placed in a tie for 4th in FPO. So 14-year-old, top 4 at a major. That's good news for the FPO division. I'm going to run through some of these other divisions, actually all the other divisions. I like to give some credit to the winners at these majors. Doesn't matter the division. Big shout outs to FP40 Lisa Fakis, edged out Jennifer Allen to get that victory. FP50 Margaret Patterson. FP55, very well-known name, Juliana Korver, wins by 20 strokes in her division. FP60 Elaine King, another well-known name. FP65 Janet Cranshaw. FP70 Sandy Gast. FA1, so amateur divisions, Kayla Hess over Eva Lutsenko in a playoff. And we know Eva, that name's been popping up quite often lately. So I'm sure we'll see that name more moving forward. FA40 Christy Lewis. FA50 Clarissa Bingham. FA55 Becky Purefoy. FA60 Kimberly Adams. FA65 Helen Kostoff. FA70 Tracy Ringer. FA2 Lisa On. FA3 Abigail Perlov. FA4 Lori Morrill. FA18, so in the junior divisions, Eden Fletcher, who won on her birthday. What an awesome prize. FA15 Gianna Locido, and FA12 Hayden Harper. So shout out to all those major winners. Hopefully it's the start to a lot more in the future. We had several aces that were highlighted on social media. If you hadn't seen them, go check them out. But one of the biggest one was a par 4 ace, 466-foot par 4 ace by Jennifer Allen. So the lone albatrace. That's what I'm going with. There was also some controversy over trophies, and that's kind of what I alluded to at the beginning. It was a custom snowboard, kind of fitting for a mountain course that is on a ski resort. Is it appropriate? I mean, it's very unique. It really looked cool. It was custom made, so custom design, and I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. Now, moving forward, is it easy to travel with? Probably not. Storage? Probably not, especially if you're traveling on the road. But, I mean, the question there is, do you think that trophies should be more compact, especially in a sport where the majority of players travel with very little room? Some of these people fly in. So are they shipping it? Or will it be shipped to their home address? Things like that. That should be taken into consideration, I think, in a lot of these, especially the major events maybe. But either way, I thought it was a cool trophy. Let me know what you thought of it. And moving on. Moving on to PDGA World Rankings. Silva is now leading in the world rankings over Holland, Evelina, Owen, and Missy, who are all on her tail. And funny enough, Kristen Lott is still ranked 6th, even though she hasn't played in quite a while. She obviously made her mark, and she's still sticking around without doing a whole lot of work on the course. She's still doing a ton of work behind the scenes. But shout out to Silva. And then, last but not least, Silas Schultz watch. Obviously, not much movement here because he hasn't played since the Hanela Open, so he is still currently in 14th. But if you want to look up your favorite player or just somebody to see how they're doing for the DGPT standings, we'll have that link down below. And currently, Holland leads over Silva in the DGPT standings. But yeah, go check them out. You never know. Maybe your favorite player gets a big bump, or maybe they drop just because they had a rough weekend. It's fun to watch those changes. Brings us to the question of the episode. What kind of trophy do you appreciate more? In design, in style, simple and clean? Does it need to be unique? Does it need to be extravagant, kind of crazy? Or should it represent the location? Or should it just be disc golf specific? Maybe a basket shaped design or some sort of basket influenced award or trophy? Let me know down below what you think the ideal trophy is. Yeah. Before we move on to gear and equipment, guys, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, the like, the share, and the notifications. All the goods. I really do appreciate it. It does help more than you know. But yeah, moving on to the gear and equipment segment. This segment is brought to you by Disc Golf Deals USA. Go to discgolfdealsusa.com/discgolfshow. Get that 10% off of your entire order. Some exclusions do apply, mainly just new mold releases. But yeah, big ticket items, practice baskets, or a full set of 9 baskets. 18. Save that 10%. It adds up. Carts, bags, largest orders of discs. Save that money. As for approved, PDGA approved molds, we do have a few. From Crave Discs, we have the Martes. It is a mid-range. The flight numbers are 55, -2, 1. We have the Booty by Hobby Discs. If you don't know them, check one of the previous episodes. We had the Jolly Roger by them that I had a hand on, got to get my hands on. Very cool. TSA, Thought Space Athletics, had the Mellow with flight numbers 1501. Nice Discs had the Cana, and Premium Disc Golf not a disc, but a championship target was approved called the Premium Target 3. It has 14 outer chains and 28 inner chains. We have talked about the chain setups on some baskets over the years, and more recently with Isaac's spit outs that he's had. He is like the unluckiest guy when it comes to spit outs. But what do you think about the design factor on the inner set of chains? How do you think they should look? Let me know. As for recent and upcoming releases, we have some from Discmania. The new signature releases that are currently available is the limited edition Flex 3 Vapor D-Line P1, which is the Antilla Major Championship or Champion disc. July 27th, the following will be available: the special edition Lux Vapor Function, the Neo Lumen Spore, which is a Discmania Challenge fundraiser, and the Arctic Assassin, which is Sea-Line Metal Flake Horizon P2X, which is also a Discmania Challenge fundraiser. August 3rd, the Gannon Burr Series, Signature Series Glow Sea-Line MD5 Cryo Blade 2 will be available, again, August 3rd. They kind of teased that earlier today. And then August 3rd also, they will be providing, or what will be available are the Flex 1 P-Line 1, the Flex 1 P-Line 2, the Flex 3 P-Line 1, and the Flex 3 P-Line 2, all available in singles or sets of 5 on August 3rd. So if you're looking for those discs, stay tuned there. Discraft and Ledgestone announced the St. Jude Charity Fused Edition set that will be released at Ledgestone Open, which starts July 30th, so next week. And that set will include the Buzz, the Zone, the Scorch, and the new Raptor, Fused Raptor. So if you're a Discraft or Ledgestone fan, stay tuned for that. Also, Ledgestone announced on the 23rd, just in a couple days here, they announced the Confetti ESP Glow Zeus, as well as the Confetti ESP Glow Aries. Also, if you are looking to stay up to date on molds that are coming out or stamps or anything like that, if you go to Disc Golf Deals USA, again, go to the Drops tab at the top and check out their release calendar. You can see what is on the way via their coming this week, coming this month, and on the horizon sections, which is very convenient to check out. And then last but not least, the most important item in your disc golf gear, your shoes. Again, check out either Idio Sports or Vessi, two different style shoes, but both lightweight, both waterproof. Ultimately comes down to personal preference of your style and what you like to look at when you look down at your feet. Big fan of Idio Sports, disc golfer, ground up business. And a lot of R&D went into those shoes that he has, both low top, high top, again with both of these companies. But check those out. Let me know which one's your favorite. Moving on to upcoming events, we have July 23rd to 26th, starting later this week, the 2026 Masters Invitational, which is a Go Throw Tour event at Eagles Crossing, Hawk Point in Missouri. We have July 24th to 26th, the 2026 Champions Landing Open presented by Dynamic Discs, which is a Jomez Pro Series event in Emporia, Kansas. I would love to see this event come back stronger, whether it's called the Glass Blown Open, the Dynamic Discs Open, or the Champions Landing Open. That town supports disc golf in a way that very, very few communities do. And it was always exciting and a pleasure to see the things that the community did for disc golf when that event came around. So looking forward to seeing how that goes and if it does get bumped up into the future. July 30th to August 2nd, the 2026 Discraft Ledgestone Open presented by Zuka, a DGPT Plus event in Peoria, Illinois. And then again, we're going to highlight this till it hits us, September 19th, The Global by the Paul Macbeth Foundation. That is a worldwide event. You'll play at your course or your tournament event, and you'll be ranked against everybody across everywhere. And if you don't see one in your area, definitely go check, and maybe you can run one in your area They do have a lot of help when it comes to if you're a new, if this would be your first event as a TD. So go check it out. I'd kind of like to do one myself. All right, moving on to the mailbag, guys, where we give you some items, some products and videos to consume, whether you've consumed them or not. Go check them out. As for the product, we're landing back on a favorite, disc golf pins. If you're looking for some swag for your bag or for your shirts or just for home, go check them out. They have pins, patches, keychains, and more. You can do custom orders for your events or yourself if you're a pro player and you're looking to fundraise some money for your tour, whether it's local or over a few states. Get some made up. We had ours a long time ago before they started putting them on the backings. This probably is not going to come into Zoom. That's our old school original one. You know, some of the clubs around here have some. Very, very cool. And then, although all of these are not from disc golf pins, the majority are. So check those out. Very high quality. Customer service is fantastic. And I highly suggest going and checking them out. Link for them, discgolfpins.com, will be down below. As for the videos, we do have a few for you. The Jomez Pro USWDGC coverage playlist is below. So if you want to see how that panned out, if you weren't able to watch it live, you can check out the whole list of 4 events, front 9, back 9, all of those easily consumed and well produced, obviously, by Jomez Pro. That'll be down below. As well as Silas Schultz had his most recent video put up, Does Gannon-Buhr Hate His Fans? We all know it's not. He doesn't hate his fans. But ultimately the quality of editing and production for Silas himself is a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. And then Simon Lizotte recently put up a new one, the first time playing my new course. So go check that out. Those links for those videos will be down below. As for Simon's, it is a new course in Nashua, New Hampshire that he has been designing. He said it still needs work, but the tee pads and baskets are finally all in. So a lot of cleanup and things like that still need to be done to the course, but looking forward to more videos from him coming from there. Well, that brings us to the end of the show, guys. This is where we can give you some ways to save some funds. If you're looking for a new bag, you can go to Upper Park Disc Golf, use code DiscGolfShow. You can save some money there. Again, you go to Buckets DG, the sponsor of the mailbag segment, and you want some new clothes, long sleeve, short sleeve gear to wear out during your tournaments or just on the daily, go check that out. Use code DiscGolfShow again. Save 10% off your order there. And Disc Golf Deals USA, go to discgolfdealsusa.com/discgolfshow. Save 10% off your entire order. Big ticket items, again, I know I've said that multiple times, but baskets, bags, carts, accessories, shirts, any large order, save 10%. It adds up. Save that money. And then also, shout out to Final 9 Sports, our local pro shop. If you are in Northern California, Sacramento area, they have 2 locations, one in Orangevale and one in Rockland. Always support local if you can. If you have any items you want us to include in some upcoming episodes, feel free to shoot me an email, discgolfshow@gmail.com. More than happy to share the word, spread the word. And again, hit that subscribe button, the like, the share, the notifications, all the goods. It definitely helps more than you may know. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you next week.